waiting for everybody to come in if they want to check this out. Have a break in my day, so I'm going to do it now. All right. It is a choose your own adventure story. where the viewer picks the path they want to go, and then the majority wins, and the majority chooses the path. But I gotta wait for more people to show up if they're gonna show up. So I did a short one. This is not the longest story in the world, but I did a short one about the mouse the first time, and everyone seemed to enjoy it. So I'm just trying to round up people. Yep, stream number 2. Except this is going to be a little bit different. I'm doing a choose your own adventure story today. Feel free to mess with the sound alerts if you want. And while I wait and see who comes in, I want to get a few more people in here before I get started here. So how it works is when you come to a place where you can make a choice, you type in either 1 or 2. 1 for the first choice, 2 for the second choice. Because I don't have access to polls yet. I don't think you get those until you're affiliate. So. Yeah, the first one did pretty good. I mean, everyone seemed to like it. And I'm trying something a little bit different. This is more of a. The first one was about a mouse, and the second one was about a. This one's going to be about a like a wizard in training kind of thing. So we'll see how it goes. I'll see if we get anybody else in here. I'm going to give it a little more time before I get started, because I know one other person at least wants to give it a wants to be a part of it. So that's Dana, but only if she sees my post. So wizard in training, yeah. Oh, okay, Robert's here. Good. Welcome in, Robert. Welcome in. I'm still seeing who all is going to show up. I know I'm waiting for at least one more person. And this is Dana. She said she wanted to do it, but she's a mom, so she might be kind of busy. So I let her know I was about to do it. So I'm just waiting to see if she's going to come in. Saturday was fine. Spent all day. I mean, had people, strangers coming in and out buying. Someone had a group of guys had bought the gun cabinet. I didn't hear it. I haven't heard it yet. Nope, didn't hear it. Not yet. Anyway, some group of guys had bought the gun cabinet. Uh, Not sure yet. Not sure when we're moving. Yeah, maybe it's not working, or maybe that one. Try another one, Robert. Try another sound alert. I'm not sure how to actually access them from here, so. So yeah, not sure when we're moving. Maybe a few months. Probably be in the summertime. When we move to Florida, it'll be like in the summer, I'm sure. So it'll be good and hot. But yeah, we sold the gun cabinet yesterday. We sold the bench that was out on the front porch, and she wants to buy some more stuff. That lady. Um, there's a guy who wants the organ, and that's extremely heavy, and it's going to take quite a few dudes to get that out of here. The funny thing about that is he showed up by himself yesterday because his wife sent him to come get the organ with the hopes that maybe someone was here to help him do it. But I can't lift it. I can't lift. I even lift one side. No, my sound alerts aren't working. Oh well. We'll fix that later. That's I'm not going to try to fix that right now. So yeah. Um, so well, let's go ahead and get started. People can come in late, I guess. So as long as you guys can hear me okay, you don't worry about the sound alerts right now, Robert. So let's see here. I can see chat, but I can't see me. So all right. Okay, thanks, Panda. So the name of this one is called The Brave Soul. It's not telling me that your browser source is offline. So the settings don't. Okay, we'll deal with it later. Okay, the name of this one is called A Brave Soul. It's a choose your own adventure story, and we'll begin. You sit by candlelight, poring over. I don't even need this on. So hold on a second. You sit by candlelight, poring over your tomb your master gave you. The arcane knowledge within has captured your imagination, and you have already memorized two of the several spells in the book, Nap and Tiny Darts. Maybe these would come in handy on your first trip out into the neighboring forest where wild boars are often a nuisance. You hear a loud crash from the next room, and it snaps you back to reality. And you rush into the laboratory to see a small humanoid creature throwing glass vials against the wall. The creature's size, ugly appearance, and greenish skin tells you that this is some sort of goblinoid. But why is it here? Stop, you yell, trying to get the goblin's attention. It glances at you and snatches another vial off the table and hurls it in your direction. You sidestep the projectile and it explodes against the wall. You realize you must take action. So at this point, you would choose to either... Okay, so you have two spells at your disposal. Either one can get the job done. You can either cast Nap or attack with Tiny Darts. So type in 1 for Nap or 2 for Tiny Darts, and I'll wait. Here's the goblin. All right. So we have 1 for 1. Robert voted 1 for Nap. Anybody else want to type in 1 or 2? Okay, you can either cast Nap or you can cast Tiny Darts. Do a drawing scene. I thought about doing a drawing scene, but That would take forever for me to draw out stuff. Nap. Okay, nap or tiny darts. So I think the majority is going with naps. We're gonna go with nap. So you quickly pull your spell from your memory and utter the correct phrase, directing your attention at the mind of the goblin. The spell seems to take hold as it blinks twice and falls backwards, knocking a few vials from the table. It's now unconscious, napping soundly on top of the table. Oh, switch scenes. I gotcha. Yeah. We'll see. I might do that. I might not. You glance around for something to bind the creature's legs and hands, and find some rope piled in the corner. It doesn't wake as you tie it up and is ready for questioning. You give it a good slap across the face to wake it, and it stirs reluctantly, opening its eyes and glares at you. It struggles against its bonds to no avail and screams, "Let Monk go, you stupid man thing!" Mustering up the stern tone, you demand, "Why are you here?" But Monk continues to struggle and spouts obscenities at you. It occurs to you that your master may have a potion or something somewhere in his lab that could force the goblin to give you some answers. It's too bad your master is away on business, otherwise he might know what to do here. You search, sure of your not tying skills, and focus on the task at hand, but it isn't too long before you hear a ruckus over at the table. You look and see the goblin standing there. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, so. You hear a ruckus at the table. You isn't long before you see the goblin standing there, a shard of broken glass in his hand, ropes cut laying at his feet. It bares its teeth at you with a wicked grin. At this point, you can choose to. You still have tiny darts left, so you can cast tiny darts at the goblin, or you can try to reason with him, and that's your two choices. So 1, to cast tiny darts, and 2, to try to reason with him. And I'll wait for you guys to choose. This is your horrible foe here. Ah! So 1 for tiny darts, and 2 to try to reason with him. Robert chooses 1, tiny darts. Anybody else? 1? Anybody else? Okay, we're gonna go with 1. Let's see what we got here. Tiny darts. What number is that? Okay. You utter a quick phrase, extending your hand, and 2 tiny dart-like objects fly from your fingertips. The darts slam into the goblin's chest and it screeches, toppling off the table onto the floor. You rush over to check the goblin and any signs of life, and there is none. The creature is slain, leaving behind the question, why was it here? You check to see if anything is on it and find in this pocket a tattered clothing. Okay, basically you find a map on a scrap of paper. Or you know what? I'm gonna do what Robert said. Do this. It'll be easier if I do a scene change. Here we go. Here's the map. Scrap of paper in his pocket. Here's you. Here's this. Here's the forest. Here's a lake. Okay. Where was I? Scrap of paper appears to be a tiny map drawn on it. If the X is the map of your home, then the path leading to it must be the route to the goblin took here. And is that a cave entrance? With your master gone on business, it's up to you to find out why the goblin was here, where the map leads. So you pack up some food and your trusty new spell book and step out into the morning air. Your old walking stick leans against the wall next to the door. You snag it and begin trying to use the map to retrace your steps. So off into the woods you go. Where am I at? The forest around your master's house has patches of thick brush and wild, gnarly trees, but it's perfect for collecting ingredients for his concoctions. So you know it well. At least to where the wild boars are roaming certain areas of the forest. At this point, After a few hours of travel, you keep an ear out for snorts and grunts of the wild boars. You don't want to get gored. You find a clear path leading down a hill, which is probably a common trail for boars. It also heads directly to a large rock outcropping. Could that be where the cave is? All right. So if you guys are still following along, you can either go down the hill, down the path to what looks like a cave, or you can go through the trees, around the brush, around the whole rock outcropping. Yeah, wild boars are no joke. They will kill you, and they eat everything. So your choices are: one, to head down the path to check out the cave. Okay, yeah, thanks for lurking. Or you could go around through the brush. So those are your choices. If this was like a D&D game, there would be a lot more choices. Okay, Robert chooses 2. Go around. Oh, he chooses 1. Interesting. Head down the path. And Vale's got a choice. I may have to extend this a little bit. Panda, you still there? You want to choose? Urk the Panda? Are you there, Panda? All right. Robert chooses 1. 5A. Keeping an eye out for boars, you slowly make your way down the path and walk into the clearing that is matted down with boar tracks. And boulders do indeed conceal a cave entrance, but you can hear the grunts and rustles of the wild boars within it. You quickly turn back up the path. Back up the path, but behind you there is a boar. Its beady black eyes glaring at you. Your reflexes take over and try to cast a spell, any spell, but it's too late. The boar charges at you and tears into your side. You are knocked prone and pain rips through your body. As the beast squeals in triumph, the last thing you see before the end is the boar bearing down on you. Nice choice. Good job. Oh, man. All right. So I'm assuming you want to see how it actually could have gone. And do you want to keep going, or do you just want to call it good there? Well, maybe you got a picture of the boar. Here's the board. Oh, backing up, rewinding time, Robert chooses to go around. Or whoever else might be watching, I don't know. So, where was I? Yeah, regardless of what happened, we can just do other stories and see where it ends up, but otherwise it'd be so short that it wouldn't be worth it. Let's see. I gotta figure out where it was. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, here we go. Thinking the trail is probably too good to be true, you decide to make your way through the thickets instead, and it isn't long before you come across a clearing and a small creek. Keeping an eye out for anything dangerous, you refill your water pouch and take a long drink, refreshing. You continue traveling north across the clearing towards the mountainous area ahead, off in the distance. Time passes without incident, and the sun begins to set. You are, however, finally at what appears to be the mouth of the cave. It's a large opening with burning torches descending further in. Maybe caution is in order here? Do you sneak up to the cave entrance? That's your first choice. Or do you listen for a moment at your current spot in the trees? So, 1, sneak up to the cave entrance and peek in. Or stay there and listen and make sure everything is good to go before progressing further.
Maybe there's a happy little tree that lives right here.
Welcome in, Dustin. Welcome in, guys. I'm right in the middle of like doing a choose your own adventure story. But welcome in, guys. How was your stream, Dustin? Hello, Governor. Welcome, readers. So we're doing a choose your own adventure right now. There's been some progression. There was a death, but we kind of backtracked and went a different direction. Welcome in, guys. Thanks for the raid, Dustin. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, because I'm doing a choose your own adventure. Yeah, so Robert picked the wrong direction and got gored by a boar and killed by a boar. So, but that's been avoided now, and now we're at the entrance of the cave, looking for goblins apparently, because a goblin had broken into his house and et cetera, et cetera. So, all right. So Robert has chosen to wait and listen in the trees before progressing further into the cave. So let me see if I can find that on here. There you go. Let's see. You hear a light breeze coming from the trees and the sound of crickets waking up as evening approaches. No unusual sounds are coming from the cave, and you came all this way to investigate the cave. You might as well check it out. So basically that was that, and then you're basically forced to continue on into the cave. So creeping your way to the side of the entrance, you hug the wall, trying to stay in the shadows, and peer into the cave. Torches are haphazardly placed along the walls, lighting the interior. The stairway leads up to another room, and the sounds of dripping water can be heard echoing throughout the cave. You don't spy any signs of goblin or foe as you slip in, keeping your walking stick at the ready, and you head for the stairs. The stairs creak as you slightly walk up them, and you hear a faint squeak, coming from somewhere above you. You steal your mind. Scoff, welcome in. Welcome in, Wit. You missed a little bit of it. You're getting kind of towards the end here. But welcome in, Scoff. You hear a faint squeak coming from above you. Steal your mind and ready your staff as you reach the top of and peer into the next area. Lose my voice here. Oh, you're fine. I didn't give a lot of warning. I just said, I'm about to do it. Come on in. You were sleeping. I could have used a nap myself, honestly. Let me see, where am I? You reach the top of the stairs and peek into the next area. A few humanoid bones are scattered about the cavern floor, and one or two discarded weapons lay amongst them. The squeak is louder now, and appears to be coming from the adjoining room off to the left, my left, which is also lit up. There's a path also leading to the right, which is down the hallway to the right, my right. So you have your choice. You have two choices. Type 1 or 2. 1 for head into the noisy room, where the noise is coming from, or head to the right down the path, which is number 2. So 1 for the noisy room, or 2 for the hallway. I'll give you guys a moment to choose. Robert's going for the squeak. He's going din deep. Anybody else want to make a choice? 1 or 2? The noisy room, 2 for the hallway. Okay, I guess we're going noisy room. What's that? Where we at? You sneak over to the room and peer in. It's well lit, but bones are scattered everywhere. The noise has stopped, and there are rocks of various sizes strewn about. And for a second there, you think you see something ducked behind one of the larger stones. Perhaps this isn't a good idea. At this point, you can head back the direction you came down the hallway, or you can continue. You always go left. Regardless, you're going left. Who cares if there's a dragon there? Or you can continue to the room, into this room. So you can keep exploring this room despite the danger that could be there. Or you can backtrack and head down the hallway. So 1 for the hallway and 2 for this room. This is definitely an audience participation situation. Always, I'm like, okay, well, I'll just choose myself then. Hallway, Scott says hallway. Maybe a little too risky in this room here. That's 1 for hallway. Robert says 1 for the room. So that's a 50-50 split. So what we're gonna do now? Oh, Panda coming in clutch. Okay, sorry, Robert, you've been outvoted. The room is just a little too dangerous for the group, so we're gonna turn around and head for the hallway. Dipping into the hallway, you make your way down. Sorry, one was explore the, or 1 was the hallway. Oh wait, that's right, I did say that, didn't I? So are you guys voting for the 1 was the hallway, 2 was the room? Okay, so we're doing the room. My bad. My bad. I got confused. All right, where am I at? You see. Okay. Feeling brave, you ready your staff and walk into the room. It stinks of decay, and there's ever so faint sound of rustling coming from behind that stone. You begin to step around, but are quickly intercepted you're quickly intercepted. A shadowy form leaps from behind the rock. It's a giant rat. And I have a picture of the giant rat right here. Hopefully not without bugs. Give me a second, guys, and I'll get this situated here. There's the giant rat. I actually drew this on a stream one day, and so a few of you saw me draw this, so here it is. Squeak! All right. Here's where the rat comes in, right? Here's where the combat starts. You jab at the rodent with your staff as it screeches at you. You attack. Your attack seems to infuriate it, and it bites down on the end of your weapon. Thinking quickly, you release one hand and cast tiny darts at the creature, both of which fly from your fingertips and pierce the animal's hide. It jumps back, screeching in pain, and tries to escape into a nearby hole in the wall. You can't have this thing potentially being a problem later, so you decide to bring your staff down on its body. The weapon connects with a thud, and the giant rat collapses dead before you. Your heart is racing as you glance around, quickly making sure. I use your imagination. I'm not going to tell you. Your heart is racing and you glance around, quickly making sure that there is no other mysterious, monstrous rats nearby. There are none that you can see, and no goblin seems to have been alerted to your presence either. I could have been more detailed, said yes, like 3 feet by 4 feet or something, but I decided just to leave it vague. A glint of red catches your eye beside the stone where the rat was lurking, and is some kind of jewel, perhaps a ruby. So you pocket the treasure and focus on the hallway. That is your only direction left to you, so you head for it. Yeah, I couldn't have you just dying left and right. I wanted to have some continuation. The board was kind of a fluke. I didn't think anybody would choose that. But oh well, that happens, right? So head for the hallway. Here's where things get interesting. Dipping into the hallway, you make your way down slowly. Ahead you hear sounds like muffled. Yeah, you got some treasure, you got some loot, you got a gem. Like muffled talking, and indeed there's a partially closed door between you and the conversation ahead. The sounds of speaking is coming from behind. There are sounds of speaking coming from behind the door. So there's at least 2 in there. But 2 of what? Goblins? Something else? The thought of bursting open the door and firing off spells crosses your mind. and so does the thought of using caution. So you have two choices, like it or not. Do you burst open the door and cast a nap at whoever's in there, or do you wait and see what happens? 1, to burst open the door and cast a nap. 2, just to wait and see what happens. Let you guys. So this is where polls would be nice, polls. And I don't have any more drawings at this point, so it's just all your imagination. Robert chooses to wait. Is that right? Wait and see what happens. Yep. Anybody else have any? Anybody else want to make a choice? I'll give you time to make a decision. I know there's a delay, but still. Okay, I guess we're going with 2. We're gonna wait and see what happens. You decide to listen at the door and before attempting any kind of action. The sounds of talking is obviously goblin-like, but there is another voice, one surprisingly familiar. Yeah, I would be cautious in a real life situation. I wouldn't be like going after no rat. One surprisingly familiar. It couldn't be your master. You bump the door open by accident and it creaks slightly. The talking stops abruptly. Before you have time to react, the door suddenly swings open and a pair of goblins grab you and pull you inside. Master, you shout, seeing him standing at the table with another goblin. You are forced to sit in a chair at the table, and your master looks at you coldly. I see we have a visitor, he says. Killed the master's helper. Your master produces a document of some kind from his jacket pocket and lays it on the table in front of you. It's simply titled "Treaty with the Clan Bloodtooth." It's full of legal wording, and your master's signature is at the bottom, along with a couple of X's. I now have a treaty with this goblin clan, your master claims. At the cost of my magical services, the clan will leave us alone. You can't help but think of the town that you often frequent. What of the town, you ask, more than a little worried. Your master continues staring at you coldly. What could they provide that I could not? He stares. He states and points a bony finger at your chest. You try to pull free from the goblin's grip, but it's no use. Your master... Yeah, I dare to enter. Welcome in, first-time chatter. Little T. He points a bony finger at your chest. You try to pull free from the goblin's grip, but it's no use. Your master utters a phrase that you're all too familiar with, and the last thing you see is several tiny darts flying at you. Then pain, then darkness. The end. Broke the tree. I don't think it would have mattered. So do you guys want to see how other choices may have gone, or do you want to call that good? It's up to you guys. But technically that would be the end of the story if that's how it was going to end. So well, I'll just tell you. So I'm doing a choose your own adventure, little T. It isn't particularly long, but basically, you're an apprentice wizard, and your home is invaded by a goblin, and you had some interaction there. Basically, you end up getting a map, so you go look for the cave where the map directs you to, and this is kind of the end result of that. So, and it's a choose your own adventure. You basically do one or two for your choices when there's choices that come up. So let's take a look at some of the other options. Let's see. Let's say you decide to just push the door open and cast Nap at the group. Oh, thank you, Robert. I'd rather not do that, but that's a good idea. Little T. All right, let's say you push the door open and step inside, getting ready to cast Nap at everything and anything. As you do, you're surprised to see a familiar face. Your master is sitting at the table with 3 goblins, all of which seem surprised as you are. Master, you ask, confused, trying to access the reason for him being there. The group stands and your master holds up a hand. Let me explain, you say, but you feel sick to your stomach and betrayed. What is this? You shout, waiting for a decent explanation. Your master reaches in his coat pocket and produces a document of some kind. A treaty, he says simply, between us and this goblin clan. It seems that he seems to sense your obvious skeptical is whatever, and continues. We provide some services in magic, and in turn they will leave us alone. One of the goblins at the table speaks up. Mock went to get scroll for spell. Oh, wait a minute. Missing something here. The goblin at the table all nod with enthusiasm and recall the goblin at your house. What about the goblin that came to the house? One of the goblins at the table speaks up. Mock went to get scroll for spell. He is not smart, basically is what the goblin says. Listen, your master continues. It's okay. This is for the best for everyone. Something else, however, occurs to you. What about the town in the area? Are they covered too? A flash of anger briefly crosses your master's face for a second, then vanishes. No, of course not. What could they provide that I could not? You've heard enough. Working with goblins. This is ridiculous. All right. See you, T. However, what could you do? Your master's skills are beyond your own, so direct confrontation was out of the question. Plus, there are 3 goblins in the room. But then you spot something even your master must have overlooked. With the faint edges of a trap door barely visible where your master is standing. You quickly form a desperate plan, and you figure it is now or never to stop this. So do you try your desperate plan, or do you bide your time? So if you were to try your desperate plan, assuming you made it that far. All right, you say, walking into the room towards your master. One of the goblins reaches out to stop you to approach, but your master waves his hand and the goblin lets you pass. Will you join us then? He asked, eyebrows raised. I will, you lie, but on one condition. He glares at you for a moment. What is that? What? And that is? You bring your staff up and quickly slam it onto the trap door. Your master gasps as it suddenly gives way beneath him, and he disappears into the darkness below. You can hear him screaming as he falls, and it appears to be a long fall. The goblins cry out in anger, but you are ready for them as well. You utter the spell nap, and in their general direction, and 2 of the 3 collapse where they stand. The third seems to be unaffected and lunges at you. Dodging to the side, you bring your staff against the creature's back, and it tumbles into the hole in the floor. Another long fall. Without mercy, you pull the other 2 unconscious goblins toward the hole and drop them in. You wait there for a long time and hear nothing. Your plan seems to have worked. Were there more goblins in the clan to deal with? You didn't know, but certainly weren't any more rooms leading from this one, and you feel satisfied that you have quelled the immediate threat from the goblins and your master's crazy plan. So that was the best result. Wouldn't you like to just be that bold, you know? Sometimes craziness pays off when it's on the right side, I guess. I'll read you the last one too, because it's kind of amusing. This option would have been if you had burst into the room and decided to not go with the crazy plan, not go with your desperate plan, decide to listen to what your master has to say, basically. So you put any notion of the crazy plan aside and decide to bide your time for now. Your master motions to the goblins, and they escort you to the table. Will you sign? He asked, more than a little bit demanding in his tone. The document is placed on before you on the table, and your master produces an inkwell and quill. Seeing no other alternative at the moment, reading too much. You decide to that signing couldn't hurt. It would buy you some time to come up with a better plan to deal with your master and the goblins. You take the quill in hand and dip it into the ink, and as you sign, a strange sensation of something otherworldly binding you to the document. You feel a strange sensation of something otherworldly binding you to the document. Perhaps your master plan isn't so bad after all. Surely these goblins could use some help of a magical sort. Surely. So that's how that one ends. Basically charmed into helping him out anyway. Alright guys, that's it. That was my big old choose your own adventure story. I hope you enjoyed it. You guys can tell me if that has potential or not. What'd y'all think? Yay, nay? Cray. Robert's lurking because he has no signal. I did see you right though. Well, thank you guys for watching. That was my choose your own adventure story. Taking a break from drawing and all that, so nerd. Oh, scofflaw nerd. Yeah, too bad Scoff wasn't on right now. Good raider. Alright guys, well, I don't see anybody I want to raid. Anybody I've really watched too much of, so I guess we'll call it good. Thank you guys for participating in my story. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will guess I will catch you another time. Hope you liked it. And I will